I'm Ed Carpenter with Carpenter Insurance, and thank you again for tuning in. This is the newest episode with us and how we're going to try to teach you guys ways on how to save money with your homeowner's insurance, because there's been so many changes since the last one we've done together. So some of the things I want to recap, as you know, in the past, you got the captive agencies that only can sell their line, where the independents can sell all types of lines. Now the big battle is between insurance companies and the government, or as most of you know it is called, as citizens. And the thing is they're both basically crying they're out of money. The difference is Citizens doesn't have to raise the money, and the independent insurance companies do. So the problem that we're facing and dealing with homeowners insurance and helping you guys out is they need to raise their money, but the government won't let them, because they're trying to basically squish and make it a socialist system. So the insurance companies are getting around it in ways that are a little weird, and most of my customers don't understand it, so I want to try to explain it to you. One of the ways is this thing called consent to rate. So understand that the insurance companies need more money, but the government won't let them raise the rates what they want. So you're getting these letters in the mail saying, oh yeah, I'd like to keep this insurance policy, but I'm signing a form saying, yeah, jack it up another $1,000. That doesn't fly too well. And another angle that I've noticed is what we call the RCE, or replacement cost estimator. Now, you know, in this market, housings are just like dropping like a rock out there. And it costs realistically about $75 to $80 to rebuild one. But Citizens and all these other insurance companies are saying, hey, we want at least $110 to $140 a square foot to replace this house. Now, this is just my opinion, but it seems to me that's another way of getting around to jacking up the amount of coverage, i.e. costs you more money to insure your home. So you got a 2,000 square foot house, they're saying they want $280,000 to insure it, and you're buying it for $150,000. Then we get these phone calls in saying, what, are you crazy? I can rebuild this thing 2 times. Realistically, you can, but like usually I like telling you the honest truth what's going on. They're all that way. We can't get around it. So the big battle is what's going to happen in the future. And it's really got us kind of scared, because I don't want to get off on the whole TARP thing and the government thing, but it's all flowing downhill. In fact, I just got an email from my leasing company for my employees the other day saying Florida didn't pay back the TARP, so now I have to pay it. And it's all trickling down to the little guys, i.e. you and me. So I see insurance rates rising. There's no way to get around it, and the government might throw a spin out there like Chris Christie did, saying, you know, keeping it low, but it's all artificial, because now Citizens is going up a max of 10%. They're doing the 130, 140 RC costs. Our private insurance companies are doing it, and it's just getting out of hand, and I'm getting a little fired up. So that's why today I'm here with you to teach you guys how to save money the best you can. And I brought 2 guests with me. I got Jennifer Columbia. She works with me full-time, and her job is getting all the paperwork together to make sure you have what you need to get the discounts. And I also got Mark Taylor with me, and he is with the Pensacola Insurance Inspectors, and he's awesome with his paperwork. In fact, he goes to all the Citizens meetings and gets the cutting edge on how to save you the money. So these 2 are going to get together and show you how to save money with wind mits. And another nightmare that's out there is aluminum wiring, and I'm sorry they even built houses with that, but you can't even get insurance with that nowadays unless you got these special applications which will inform you with. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Jennifer, and it's all yours.
Okay, first we're going to talk about the aluminum wiring. We've had a lot of customers calling us and having complaints saying they can't get insurance because of the aluminum wiring. And I just would like for you to explain to us a little bit about how you can go in and kind of remedy the problem for a couple of insurance companies that will accept it.
Exactly, Jennifer. There's 2 options on getting around that. Obviously, there's a full home rewire that will address the issue and open you up to all the carriers that ride in Florida. The second is these little crimps called Alumicon crimps. And you can normally get this done for about 1/3 of what it would cost to rewire your home. But a couple issues come in. We see aluminum wire mainly in homes from like 68 to about the mid-70s. Sometimes we'll see them a little bit later. I get surprised every day opening some up. This right here is what the aluminum wiring looks like, and this is what the copper wiring looks like. So if you've got this in your home versus this, then this may be an issue for you on your smaller wires.
Is there an easy way to tell if you would have the aluminum wiring in your home?
There is. The best way would be to open up your panel box and pull about 4 to 6 screws out and look in there. That's kind of the easiest to see if you've got aluminum or copper. But you can also try to open up, one of your outlets or light switches and see what kind of wire is hooking around that lug there where it ties in.
Okay.
And if it's the real silvery aluminum, you've got it. If it's the darker copper, you're in the clear.
Don't all houses have the aluminum coming in? It's the ones that are going out.
They do. Gulf Power, everything's run with aluminum. All of your, and it's okay to have your big wires as aluminum. Your range can be aluminum, your AC, your heat, all that stuff. It's what they call your branch, your smaller branch wiring, the stuff that's running your outlets, your lights overhead, your ceiling fans, stuff like that is what has to be changed. But if you wanted to try to not rewire your home, you can hire a contractor for about 1/3 of the price, and they will add these little crimps in. And the idea on this is that it has a little bolt, and I know it's hard to see, but anytime something bolts down on that wire, you've got a lot better connection. And the problem with aluminum is where it connects, and that's where the insurance companies have said fires can start and why they've quit writing it.
Okay, cool. So the box, though, looks a lot bigger compared to the other box.
It does. This is typically the size box that's in your home right now. It's about 1 inch different, because you got to think when you add those crimps, you've gone from 3 connections in that box to now 9 connections in that box. So a lot of times your electrician's going to come in, he's going to remove that box, stick in a deeper box that can then house these crimps back here in the back and still get your outlet or your light switch.
So you have to put in, for every outlet that you have to have one of these boxes installed.
Exactly.
So you have to go in and put like bigger holes in the walls and stuff like that?
You can. There's some electricians out there that do a great job on that. There's some that don't do as good a job. But yes, you can end up with some drywall damage for sure when it's all said and done.
And do you know how much that typically costs to have the Alumicon?
Say it's a 1,800 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. You could probably get the Alumicon done in the range of a few thousand, give or take 500, 750. Get into a rewire, you could be as high as $10,000, as low as $6,500, $7,000.
Okay.
Obviously, your best choice. If it's your forever home, you're going to be there forever. Try to rewire that house. If you're there for a short term, you might could get away with these, but you definitely have more options with a full copper home.
Right.
Yeah, I ran into that problem one time myself. I was going to go buy a home, and I put $5,000 down, and then you got the 10 days for inspection. After 3 days, I found out it was aluminum wiring. I said, I don't want it. But the seller said that isn't reason enough to back out of it, even though I couldn't find insurance. So my advice to you, if you think about buying a home, is put as little down as possible. If the seller wants more down, say after the inspection, because in my case, it was going to go to litigation. To make a long story short, you don't see the money. The lawyers get it all. So when they sit down and say, oh, if it goes to arbitration, you got this fantasy in your mind like there's going to be somebody out there like us who's got some morals to him and say, oh, yeah, this person's wrong. Here's your money back. No, it goes to the lawyers and the court system, and you never see it. So there's just a little advice on that aluminum wiring. It's scary. Make sure about that before you get too crazy in it.
Okay, another thing I wanted to talk to you about was the wind mitigations. I know that's a really good way for customers to save money on their insurance premiums, but it seems like people aren't taking advantage of it like they should. So I'm not sure if it's the price or what it is. What do you normally charge to come out for a wind mitigation?
Our base price is $75. The further we get away from Pensacola down the coast, it does have to go up a little bit because of the high fuel prices and the time that it takes to get down there. So you could be anywhere from $75 to $100. Depending on where you live along the coast. And I think most people are just misinformed, when it comes to the wind mitigations, and that's why I don't have anything that'll save me money, this old house, kind of deal. But little do people know, most homes have already got these hurricane clips. If it was built in the last 40 years or so, more than likely it has it. And this is one of the biggest discounts that you can get. If you look up in your attic and look down where the wall and the roof come together, and you see a little metal triangle, more than likely you've got hurricane clips on that. Others are, obviously, because Ivan, a dentist, almost everybody has new roofs. That new roof is a great discount. The shape of your roof. A lot of people have a hip-shaped roof that is a huge discount, and it was built like that from day one. And you probably don't even realize what you have there, but that right there can be 30% lower insurance than your neighbor who's got a gable roof, and the exact same home, same construction, same everything. So what we like to do, if people are leery, if we come out and we can't save you any money, we're not going to charge you a dime. We're going to shake your hand, Thank you very much. You have a great day, and we're going to go on to our next appointment. So when you use Pensacola Insurance Inspections, you're not going to lose. You can only win.
That's
great.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
Some of the other discounts, I brought along some peel and stick. If you're putting on a new roof right now, you want to use this right here instead of felt paper. See how shiny and slick it is? You pull back this coating and actually adhere straight to your decking. So if a hurricane winds come through and blow the shingles off, you've got a second layer of protection in there. The insurance companies love it because now all they're doing is buying you new shingles instead of buying you new insulation, new drywall, new carpeting, all the interior flooding things that come along from hurricanes.
Right. Cool.
I know there's another discount on there. It's the shutter discount, and customers will go out and pay all this money to get the shutters installed, but what we have found out is that the savings is nowhere near the amount that they spend on the shutters.
You're exactly right, Jennifer. The problem is if you have a very old house that's not getting any discounts, the shutter discount is huge. But most of them don't. Most of them are already getting a hurricane clip. They're already getting some new shingles. They're already getting a hip roof maybe. And the insurance company is only going to give you so many discounts. They're going to max out 75, 80% of your wind premium. Well, if you're already getting 50 or 60% with your new shingles, with your hurricane clips, with your shape of your roof, there's only so much left. There might only be 10% left. You spend 20 grand for shutters and you get 150 bucks added to your discount and you're disappointed.
Right.
Now, if you've got a much older home, say built in the 50s, and you don't have the hurricane clip discount and you haven't put a new roof on lately, all of a sudden you put on hurricane shutters and you might save 45 or 50% of your wind premium just off those shutters. But it's kind of one of those give or take kind of deals.
And they need to make sure every opening is protected, because we've run into that situation too where there's a small opening that isn't protected and the insurance company will not give you any credit at all if even one isn't protected.
You're exactly right. Their insurance companies are looking for every excuse in the book to take away discounts right now. And I just had a man call me this morning and he was going to put up shutters, and I asked him, I said, did you go get a permit from the city of Pensacola? He said, no. I said, please stop what you're doing and go down there and get it. Because the insurance companies, if you had a roof put on without permits, which was very common after Hurricane Ivan, things were busy, things were crazy, stuff was happening. These insurance companies are looking for any excuse in the book to take away discounts. So do it the right way the first time, and you should be good for the future on these discounts.
I had a customer come in with his hurricane shutters. He was all happy, and I'm like, yeah, you're going to save money. And I sent it off, and he comes in a few weeks later with a bill for 35 bucks. Like, what's that for? So I call up the company, and they're like, well, the reason is because we had increased his coverage to cover the hurricane shutters, and the discount didn't make up for it. I was a little embarrassed that day. It was crazy. Well, that's all the time we have for now. Mark and Jennifer, thank you so much. It was awesome.
Thank you, Ed.
Yeah. And we did this just to help you guys out, to save some money. I hope you call us, but if not, call your agent, because the way things are now, you got to save every dime you can. And we're here just to get the information out to you so you got a little more arsenal when you talk to your agent. Thanks again. God bless. And that's Ed Carpenter out with Carpenter Insurance. Bye-bye.